He's cool. I just make sure I refer him to everybody, and we have a good working relationship. Because I refer him to people, he gives me discounts and stuff. So I think that's a good thing too, is to find somebody that you think is really good, try to build up some rapport with them, be like, hey, I'm really going to get into this real estate thing, so I'm going to give you lots of business. Could you give me discounts because of the amount of business I'm going to give you? I'll also make sure I refer you to any other real estate people I meet. So I think that's good incentive on their part to give you discounts, because you're going to give them so much more work than just a one-off job.
Doing numbers like I'm MJ and Dash Jackson and Jordan. Boy, I'm killing y'all boring. Time to give the world what they really need. That's the HOMIE.
Good afternoon, tribe. My name is Darius Lester, the financial philosopher, and this is Mammoth Money Mindset. And today we'll go over episode 4 of Start Anyway, house flipping edition. And in this episode, the format will be a little different, but ultimately I'm going to speak about how to hire cheap labor, right? How to actually find people to help you accomplish your real estate goals. Me, myself, I'm not that handy. I done painted a few walls. I done took down some doors, put up doors, played around with ripping up flooring, not actually putting it down too much. But that's about the extent. I can watch a YouTube video and copy it, but as far as this house goes, getting stuff up to code and making sure that it's safe for renters, I definitely like to outsource. That's my main thing. I'm just trying to learn how to outsource better so that it costs me less. And I just want to get better and better at it so that I can eventually have a team that just does everything for me, which allows me to go out and focus on getting more properties so that they'll keep having work. So we'll just get right into it, right? I'll go over 3 ways that you can go about finding, laborers, contractors, what have you, handymen, to help you do all the physical things needed to renovate a home. And then, I don't know, at some point I'll show pictures of what we've been doing outside. All right. So number 1, I'm gonna just go ahead and start with the best way. My personal opinion, best way is referrals, right? Finding either people who have been in the real estate game for a long time, talk to them and see who they use. And then you can already have a body of work that you can kind of judge and be like, okay, this is the level of work that they do. You can get referrals from the person on their pricing, on their timeliness. Was there any confusion about when payment was due or how long it took them to do the job, XYZ. So my personal experience last year, was it last year? Yeah. I think it was early last year. There was a girl I met on the internet, and I was not physically, man, is she gonna watch this? Probably not. I was not physically attracted to her, but I thought that she was cool because she was real goal driven and she was into real estate. So I just wanted to be really good friends because that's what I was into and that's what I was trying to learn. So we just hung out, talked. She actually took me to her Airbnb, which honestly inspired me to be like, you know what, I could do this. And I went ahead and started my own Airbnb. While I was at her Airbnb, there was a plumbing problem. So she actually called a guy over and he was fixing it. And I was like, oh, who's that? She was like, oh, that's Jawan. He, fixes my stuff because she's a real estate agent. So she worked for a broker. And basically she was like, my broker, uses him for, all the properties that she owns to fix stuff. So that's how I knew he was legit. And I was like, oh, makes sense to me. Coincidentally, I had a bullet hole in my house, and I was like, well, shoot, can I have his number? Because, he said he does walls and floors, and I was like, well, the bullet went through a wall. Can you help me with this? And he was like, yep, came over, patched up the roof, inside, outside, patched up the wall, and the wall where the bullet died at. Cleaned them all up. You can't even tell a bullet ever went through the house. Did it all for like $300. And I was like, I like this guy. So I kept his number, and that's how I met Juwan. He is like my main, handyman. He's pretty decent at most things. He and I make sure I refer him out to whomever I run into. He's been the one helping me with, pretty much everything in the house. All the flooring, that was him. He knocked down all the cabinets. Raising up the shower head, repainting, the walls in the bathroom and the tub itself. The paint job he's doing on the outside of the house. That's all him. And through meeting him, he also has friends that work on other houses. He himself, his main job is like working at like pretty much like a apartment complex. So he's just a handyman for that whole area. So his whole life basically is doing renovations, fixing holes, fixing whatever people need fixed as far as, living places go. So it's good. I think it's really good to have somebody who that's their main job and they also do more of it on their side. But yeah, he's cool. I just make sure I refer him to everybody and we have a good working relationship. Because I refer him to people, he gives me discounts and stuff. So I think that's a good thing too, is to find somebody that you think is really good, try to build up some rapport with them. Be like, hey, I'm really going to get into this real estate thing. So I'm going to give you lots of business. Could you give me discounts because of the amount of business I'm going to give you? I'll also make sure I refer you to any other real estate people I meet. So I think that's good incentive on their part to give you discounts because you're going to give them so much more work than just a one-off job. All right. So that's referrals. I think referrals are huge. Find people in the real estate space, people that have been flipping houses, people that, maybe are agents, maybe people that own brokerages, people that are really heavy into this space, and use whoever they use. Because it makes way more sense than, trying to find somebody random and hoping they don't run off with your money or hoping they treat you right. So number 2, right? Number 2 is go to places where the work is done. What I mean by this, I'm sure everybody's heard about going to Home Depot and finding the Hispanic people. Jawan is Hispanic. It is what it is. We're in my location. A lot of them do a lot of work. And every time I go to Home Depot, they're doing a new job. There are other races of people that do work, but a spade is a spade. There are lots of Hispanic people that do a lot of, contracting and handyman work. I don't know. So go to Home Depot, go to Lowe's, find the people that you see, collecting a whole bunch of lumber, whole bunch of paint, what have you, look like they're loading everything up in a truck because they're probably working on a job. So just doesn't hurt to ask, hey, do you do this a lot? What jobs are you good at? Would you mind looking at this property? Are you interested in getting paid to do more work? A lot of people just like money, so you never know who you'll come up on. Something else, another place is driving around neighborhoods and looking for, I'm sure you've seen beaten down houses or houses that are in the middle of renovation. Go to those ones. Those are literally people doing the handyman or contracting work in real time. So while they're doing another job, be like, hey, after you're done with that, you want to come by mine and, do this, I have money. And you never know. Honestly, like even while I'm doing stuff with Jawan, people will like see him like helping me with stuff and they'll just come over out of nowhere and just ask, if he can come over tomorrow or after he's done working on whatever he's working on. So I would definitely recommend that. Just obviously be polite, be respectful. Don't be weird or judgmental or anything like that. You're asking someone to help you do something that you're not able to do. Definitely be respectful because I definitely acknowledge and appreciate how good Juan is at what he does, because there's tons of stuff that I physically and mentally just can't do because I don't have that skill set. I haven't learned the things that he's learned. So I truly appreciate him and being so willing to, drop everything he's doing to help me with my stuff. And then number 3 is friends and family. I recently got married and inherited a son. I have a 14-year-old. And if you did not know, 14-year-olds are normally pretty unmotivated to do stuff that they don't feel like it unless you offer to pay them. They don't really know the value of money. So really, you can tell them some amount that's over $100 and they get really hyped and they'll pretty much do whatever you want. So I definitely hired my son to, come over, pick up trash, around the house because it's filthy, mow the lawn. He's been I don't know, digging a ditch to clear out a lot of the dirt and stuff. He's been over there grinding. So I definitely appreciate him. And honestly, it's nice to be able to pay family as opposed to paying strangers. So if you have friends or family that maybe are out of work or that need work, or because there's a lot of stuff, where just extra hands would be helpful in the whole renovation process. You don't actually need any, skill knowledge to do stuff like cutting grass is easy, picking up trash super easy. We got a whole bunch of, I don't know, spare wood that needs to be moved and taken to the dump, so I'm gonna have him help me with that too. And I'll just tell him I'll throw on an extra 50 and he'll get hype and jump up there and be moving stuff before I do. So yeah, those are 3 ways you can go about getting help with your renovation project. So that's pretty much it. Now, somewhere you should see some pictures or maybe a video of just us doing some of the work outside. A lot of the grass was overgrown, so we just kind of cut it out. Not sure how we're gonna go about making it look nice. Given the neighborhood, it doesn't really need to look that nice. I'm not about to go hire a landscaper to do any intricate work. I think just cutting the grass, period, and just kind of edging stuff up so that it looks decent should be good. And then you'll also see the paint job that we started to do. I got Juwan to fix a lot of the cracked bricks that were on the front of the house and just kind of paint the whole floor with like a maroon kind of color. I'm trying to, I'm not sure. I think I want to put that color somewhere else on the top. I'm not sure if I want to do the rim or if I want to do the inner triangle on the face of the house. Look at this picture and give me y'all's opinion on what part of this top of the house do you think should be maroon so that it looks balanced. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Again, my name is Darius Lester, D Financial Philosopher, and this is Mammoth Money Mindset. Thanks for watching.